So, who is the third man? That's what everybody is wanting to know. Hi, guys. This is Mike with the 716 Sports Entertainment, joined by my main man, Mr. T. Reese. And this is episode number 17 of the official podcast. I've learned now I'm not saying it's a special episode anymore because this is our normal episode. So, with that, we're going to break down Monday Night Raw last night. We had a lot of action on the Raw. We're going to get through the recap, talk about everything, give you guys the good and the bad, and we'll give you guys our full breakdown. So thank you guys so much for joining us. As always, hit that like and subscribe button. We really appreciate it. As I've mentioned in the past, when we get to 100 subs, we're going to do a giveaway. So, guys, keep hitting that sub button, keep hitting that like button. We really appreciate it. So let's kick it off. So we opened the show last night with CM Punk, his first appearance since WrestleMania, and he wasted no time. Talking about all the things that he's pissed off about, going on about how he's mostly pissed off at himself, but immediately kind of going into laying into Paul Heyman, which obviously brought out the wise man along with Seth Rollins and Braun Breaker, which turned into a verbal exchange, which obviously everything got heated. And, this led to the heels attacking Punk, who was then saved by Sami Zayn, who was then saved by Jey Uso, which obviously is going to be setting up a match for the Saturday Night Main Event coming up in a few weeks between Sami and Punk and Seth and Braun. So, Reese, what did you think of the overall opening of the show? And, obviously that we're finally kind of getting this match. And where do we go from here?
Well, I thought it was all right. I mean, obviously, it was his first time speaking on the results of WrestleMania. I mean, it was okay. I mean, I didn't think it was the greatest response to WrestleMania. It was okay. Usually, I'm used to seeing Punk to go into these long-winded rants and hitting all these key notes and when he's addressing things. And this one, it was kind of like it was just a typical rant like anybody else would do in WWE. He called out Heyman. Heyman came out with the smirk on his face and everything. That was great.
Yeah, he did.
Hey, listen, I gotta give a shout out to the way the crew looks, man, because your boy Seth and your boy Brown look good coming out in those outfits.
They did.
They were real true, like some sort of real Don. I was enjoying that. But yeah, I mean, he touched on a few things, like you said earlier, blaming himself for what happened and whatnot. But I mean, overall, like you said, the mystery is who's the third guy. I have my theories. I mean, if you want to hear them now, I'll let you know. Mike, do you want to hear
it? Yeah, I mean, we talked about it before. I mean, I know I was running pretty hard with it being Ethan Page, but I don't think that's going to happen. But
I don't think it's going to be. Yeah, I don't think it's going to be Ethan Page, but there's a certain YouTuber I think is going to be the third guy.
Oh God, please no.
He's been involved every single time that Jay's been in the ring. He's been involved. Even when he's not even involved in the match, he's been getting involved. Think about it. He's been there every single time. So, I mean, if you ask me, the clues are there. I think it's going to be Jake Paul. And they've been trying to push him hard. And the best way to really teach him the ropes and stuff like that is probably to sit him with Seth Rollins. And I really think that they've been letting him get involved in a lot of things off camera, on camera. I mean, he's there every time Jay walks around. And he's getting jumped by either Paul or he's getting jumped by Braun Breaker. So think about it. I think all the clues are pointing to Paul.
I mean, do you think if that's just because they're trying to, promote that match? Because it's likely going to be the main event of your Saturday night's main event show in a couple of weeks here. So you think it's just because of that? Or do you actually think that, it's going to be him?
Well, I would think that. But the problem is that he's there every single time. Every time he's in the ring, he's right there. And
I hate it that you're putting this in my head.
Hey, listen, I don't want to see it either. Quite frankly, I'm with the Ethan Page thing. I'd rather see Ethan Page join them, but there's been a lot of Paul being around when he's walking around, and then when Seth's walking around, and for the last 3 weeks, it's been either Braun or it's been Paul that's been hitting Jey Uso.
Yeah, I mean, you're not wrong. Yeah, I enjoy. I mean, it was a relatively, safe Punk promo. I did very much like when he said, "Where you at, Penguin?"
Yeah,
that was kind of funny.
Yeah, he did get me in that. His fat little neck, I'm gonna make your eyeballs explode.
That was pretty good. This has led to our first match, Penta versus Chad Gable. I don't really understand this one. Like, why is Penta wanting to fight Chad Gable when it was clearly El Grande Americano who cost him at the pay-per-view? Wasn't really sure like why they set this one up, but obviously with these two guys, like it wasn't going to be anything short of like spectacular, right?
Yeah.
Like these two guys are awesome. The one thing that I wanted to touch on, and I'll let you talk about the match as well, but the one thing I wanted to touch on, which I thought was kind of annoying, was this is where they had Pat McAfee come back,
Yeah.
and like he came back after both guys were already in the ring, like, and he
Mhm.
got a full entrance, and like he was basically like throughout the entire night totally like nice and respectful to
Mhm.
Gunther, who just beat his ass 2 nights ago. And he's like, basically just showing him all this respect and very clearly, like, I mean, he kind of like, played this thing, oh, look, I got a busted eye or whatever. But it was
Mhm.
like, dude, what are you doing? Like, take a week off. Like seriously? Like what the hell was the point of that match? I don't get it. I really don't get it. We didn't get Goldberg or anything. Like what are we doing?
I'm right there with you. I'm trying to figure out like I seen them. They let Penta enter the ring. I don't even. Did they even show Gable getting the ring?
I don't think they even show, unless I
Yeah,
missed it. I don't even think Gable got an
too. I don't
entrance.
think they showed him entering the ring. Next, thing you know, Pat McAfee comes out, and I'm like, wait a minute, you're squashing this match right now for Pat McAfee to come and sit at the announcer table. So I mean, listen, I haven't heard any rumors. Maybe he got in late on a flight or something like that. Who knows? But
Yeah,
you probably want to wait. Probably want to bring him in to the ring before the match or after the match. I thought it kind of disrupted the flow of what we were waiting to see in the ring. The Gable thing, I mean, they're just playing the story, man. They all know
yeah,
it's Gable.
yeah.
He
No,
just
I
wants to
know.
beat up
I
Gable.
know. I just,
I mean,
there's,
they're riding that all the way. But it was a pretty good match. I mean, it was I mean, it wasn't as high flying as I expected it to be, but it was a pretty good match. I mean, Gable. I mean, I don't think I've ever really seen him in a bad match with
no,
anybody.
no, never.
Yeah, he usually hangs with anybody that's in the ring with him.
He's such
Um,
a good technical wrestler, and like
awesome.
that Penta when Penta hit that code breaker, like when Gable was like diving, that was
Mhm.
like nuts, like just
How about
absolutely nuts.
the suplex on the outside of the ring, on the edge of the ring? I was like,
Yeah,
wow, Pitta took that. I mean, he took a full blow on. Like usually they kind of roll off a little bit. He took the full blunt of it. I was like, wow, these guys are
yeah.
going for it. But yeah, it was a good match. I mean, we'll see where this goes. I mean, I told you this Grande thing is going to be right now for a while. I mean, we were questioning that a couple of months ago. Like, how long are they going to do this? We're going to just do it up to WrestleMania? I think that the internet's gone wild on it. So I think
Oh
you
yeah,
can probably see this all the way up
absolutely.
to SummerSlam.
Absolutely. Like, I mean, they're gonna probably do something big at SummerSlam for this. Like,
Mm-hmm.
that's when you'll probably finally get your unmasking, But like, why not carry this out for a while? It's hot, like you said. Like, keep it going.
Let me ask you: do you think that they're going to have Chad Gable get involved with the AAA pay per view?
Yes,
I think he's going to be there too.
yes, I do. I do. I think that he's gonna be like, what is it? It's Money in the Bank weekend, right? When they're gonna do that Worlds Collide pay per
Yeah.
view. I think it's
Mm-hmm.
like that's like it's early. It's the same day, but I think it's earlier in the day. Yeah,
Yep,
so
3 o'clock,
they're
and then Money Bakes at 7. Yeah,
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
yeah,
They'd be
he's gonna.
foolish. They'd be foolish not to. It's so hot right now.
It's gonna be hilarious to see him out there with all these other luchadors. I just can't wait to see it, dude.
Gracias.
Gracias.
You got me, you got me dying.
Oh man, but you're right. That code breaker move was great, dude. I mean, he caught him. I mean, it was perfect timing. These two guys, they look good together in the ring. I can't be mad at it. I mean, if I were to give the match, I mean, I know it's my boy Penta, but I probably would give it like a B minus.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing.
Yeah, I don't think it was the greatest match I've ever seen, but it was a good match.
Yeah. We obviously then had a couple of backstage segments with the Judgment Day, and that was like kind of goofy where like we kind of called during the backlash review, like the what's his face? Dominic Mysterio went to Penta or went to Finn. He was like, "Why did you like hesitate when you caught that chair?"
Mhm.
And like kind of planting, just continuing to plant those seeds a little bit for a future match between the two of them. But then also there was like some stupid commentary too, where they were talking about like where Liv was, and Dom didn't understand what time zones were, and that was like what are we doing here? Like this, why are we portraying this guy to be like an idiot? Like what are we talking about here?
I don't
So
get the angle either.
I'm
I
just that was
don't. And he started showing though. He started pulling. Look, this is how it works. He started revolving. I'm like, what are we doing right now? So now Dom's an idiot.
yeah. Apparently Dom's an idiot. So
I don't know, man. I don't think they know what they're doing with that either. To be perfectly honest with you, I think they're just filling out to see what catches with the fans and
yeah.
then see where they can ride it out from there. Because I have no idea what's going on with the Judgment Day, the Finn Balor and Dom thing, and now you got, you know, I mean, even what's her name, Roxanne. What's her name? The tag team.
Liv and Raquel.
Yeah, Raquel. I don't know why I always want to call her Roxanne, but she's just a background walking around with the belt, the one
Yeah.
belt, and I'm like, what are we? Why did you just let them lose the belts
Yeah.
for this time period and let some other wrestlers, fight for it or whatnot? I don't get what they're doing. I'm lost. I don't know.
Especially like while Liv isn't going to be there, you're not going to have those belts on TVs for like a month. Like
Hmm.
what are we? I don't know.
It doesn't make any sense, and that's we've spoke about this. They killing the tag team divisions with this stuff.
Oh yeah, yeah, and yeah. I mean, they're absolutely right. Like we don't. You desperately if you're gonna keep those titles around, you need more women's tag team. Like you need to regularly, at least once a week, have a women's tag team match, like either on Raw or on SmackDown, if you're going to make that relevant, right? And I mean, speaking of tag teams, obviously the next match we're going to talk about is then the New Day obviously came to the ring. There's something I wanted to spend 30 seconds on and kind of get your take on, because this is something that WWE does. AEW doesn't do it as much, but WWE does this a lot. They will have either one wrestler or a tag team come out to the ring, or in this case, that the New Day come out and they were going to do guest commentary for the match between the War Raiders and American Made. But what they did was they had the New Day come out, sit down, and then they go to a backstage segment about Punk and Sammy, like right in the
Mm-hmm.
middle of that, and then they go back to the ring, and
Mm-hmm.
like the wrestlers are already out there, and it's just like why do we do that? Like for me, one of the things about wrestling that like makes a show good is pacing, and sometimes the pacing is just awful. Like do that before or do that after a match. Like am I crazy like thinking that, or is it the mess with the pacing?
No, I mean this is the same thing as what happened with McAfee entering the ring in the Penta match.
Yeah.
I don't know what I don't know if it's a scheduling. I don't know if they're like making last minute changes, but it definitely it disrupts the flow of the show. And don't
Hmm.
forget there was a portion of the show I can't remember. It happened again. Uh, there's a portion of the show where there's a little snippet of um, what's his name, A Town Down and A Town and Up, whatever the hell their names are.
Waller. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, there was a little snippet for like a half second, then it cuts out. I was
yeah.
like, wait, was that supposed to be part of the show? Are they going to come back to that? It was very weird, like because it looked like he was in his face, and I'm like, what happened there? So I don't know. I haven't really seen too many people talking about it, but yeah, I don't know what's going on with the way they're laying out the program right now because it just seems kind of all over the place.
Yeah, like it just I don't know. It just lately it seemed like it was just kind of like very unorganized. I don't really know like where else to put it, but it's just something that like I kind of wanted to spend a minute on because it's just like this is really friggin' annoying. But anyway, with this match, the obviously the Creeds they dominated the early part of the match, and then the typical kind of tag team match, sort of waiting for Eric to get the babyface comeback when he got the hot tag, and but then it kind of got messy when Kofi and Xavier kind of got involved, and they like just sort of like set it up for sort of like a really sloppy ending, and it almost seems like they're trying to have the New Day like duck the War Raiders kind of like continuously, and so instead the American Made is just kind of, they obviously got the win, but it was just sort of like again, like what are we doing here? Like
Mm,
it seems like we have three tag teams on Raw.
yeah.
And it's like the just, the back and forth. Like I'm not vested or interested in the New Day like at all. Like this was like an
Mm.
absolute nothing match for me. It kind of seemed very sloppy at the end because hot take, I think the New Day should probably retire. Like, you know,
Yeah,
they
they
were
don't have
great.
that.
They
They
were
don't
great
even
for
don't
like
have
20
a
years, but like they're not that interesting anymore. And they
no.
totally botched the hell out of this heel run with them. So
Yeah, I don't know what they're doing with it. I mean, we've been talking about the Raw tag team titles for a minute here. I mean, we just talked about the women's one. Now we're talking about the men's one. I don't. Why are they hiding from the War Race? It's not the first time they've wrestled them.
mhm.
So this isn't a secret. I don't know. I just think because they don't have enough tag teams on Raw that they're just kind of just all right. Let's just let this float for a little while till we can get some more wrestlers up, onto that roster to in that tag team division. I have no idea. You're right. The New Day thing is just it doesn't even feel authentic. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? It just feels like it's pushed,
yep.
and they're both they're not even believable when they're a heel. So that's what makes it weird for me. I
No,
mean,
you're
don't forget now when New Day first started, they were heels.
yeah, no,
They
you're
were
right.
heels. They were heels when they first started, but they've been faces for almost a decade now. So it's like almost like why are we even going this route? I mean, again, I've said it before. You need to reinvent yourself. But I just don't see you reinventing yourself in this way. I just don't know what their motivation is anymore. I don't, and it's just the same three tag teams every time on Raw: War Raiders, New Day, and now you're squeezing in the Creed brothers. I don't know. We'll see what happens, but I this whole men's tag division in Raw, zero interest.
Yeah. No, I completely agree. And it's like it just seems like overall WWE has like 10 tag teams and like seven of them are on SmackDown and all
Yep.
of the good ones are on SmackDown,
Yep.
because like every week like we get just a barn burner of a tag team match on SmackDown with one of those awesome teams. I mean, they're all good, DIY, Fraxium, the Street Profits, Pretty Deadly, Machine Guns. Like they're all excellent, and like
Mhm.
every week we get some kind of match between one of those groups, it's like if you're not going to do anything with like Grayson Waller and Austin Theory, put them in a tag team, have them do their thing. Same thing with Miz and Mello. Like let's like you're not going to do anything with these guys. Let them have tag team matches. Because
Mhm.
like you need to fill that out.
Yeah, I don't. You just mentioned some wrestlers they could include in that, fight for that belt. But the Waller thing there. I mean, they're about to break them up. The Miz and Carmella, they're kind of just like kind of teasing us with that. They haven't really done nothing with them either. I don't know, man. Maybe they're waiting for the lottery or the draft. I mean, to come through and just try to, change things up a bit. Because there is a lot of stuff on the internet about them, all these changes coming when the draft comes up. So that's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking they're just kind of floating along until that draft comes. Quite frankly, they didn't even make the draft. If you, in my opinion, the month after Mania,
Yeah.
right?
Well, that's usually like when they do it too, right? Like, isn't it like right around now is when they
Yep,
usually do their draft? Like,
yep.
it's
I thought they usually do it like a few weeks after Mania. They start, trading off, different wrestlers to each brand. But I mean, they mentioned it, I think, once on one of the broadcasts about the
yeah,
draft, the impending draft coming up. But I mean, there's not even a build up to that now.
yeah. No, we are, in an old Vince McMahon adage, we are definitely in need of a superstar shakeup.
Mm. I'm interested on what their plan is. You know what? I mean, that'd be a good discussion to have one time. Where do we think they're going to move people around from each brand?
Yeah, no, absolutely. Um, Speaking of which, we with the next segment, we got one of our answers to what they're going to do with Gunther. So Jay Uso comes out to the ring. Obviously, he was in the opening segment as well as kind of the third man for the babyface group. But Jay Uso comes out and makes mention that obviously he's going to defend his title against Logan Paul, to which he was unexpectedly cut off by Gunther, who basically was like, I want a rematch with you because I still think you're garbage and I can still beat you, and I'm going to challenge the winner of you and Logan Paul after on just a random episode of Raw after the Saturday night main event. So I think it's the June 5th episode of Monday Night Raw is what they said. But I guess we got our answer with what they're going to do with Gunther for a little while now, at least. Just put him right back into the title picture. Some kind of bullshit's probably going to happen in that match because you've got so many people involved in that title picture right now, like Seth's group, Gunther, Logan Paul, Jey Uso, like Sami Zayn kind of still too. Like with all the different people kind of going for that title right now, like I don't know. Like I don't think that match is going to have a clean finish. Like Gunther's certainly not going to win it back, but I mean, I don't know. What do you think?
Well, I don't think the story makes any sense. I mean, you have him lose that way. He
Yeah.
disappears for like what, a week or two. Comes, or that next week he beats up the commentators, because we were questioning like what's the plan with him after this. And again, I think this is another situation. He's going to probably be one of the ones to go to SmackDown. That's probably what's going to come up. But I think this storyline's all over the place. I think you got too many intersecting storylines for this, and you're just tossing Gunther into this. And you're right, the McAfee thing, shaking his hand, and what was the point of the match then?
Yeah.
Because it's almost like, I mean, are they friends now because of this? Like, what was the whole point of this if there was going to be no conclusion to it?
Yeah.
I mean, McAfee got beat up. We didn't expect him to be on TV, I'd imagine, after that. And then they got him popping up twice last night, Gunther,
Yeah.
and two major storylines.
One of our subscribers in the comments of our last video had made a note that he thinks Gunther is going to like kind of almost become a tweener. And I honestly could see that happening. Like I didn't even consider it, but it's almost kind of like, are we going in that direction where we're gonna like kind of not just keep Gunther as like a monster heel because we can do so much with him as a face? I mean, honestly, like thinking about it, we've said this in the past. WWE is real heel heavy right now, and I think we need kind of more people on the other end of that. Gunther isn't my first choice for that, but I mean, I guess I kind of get it.
Yeah, but
I
they
don't
haven't
know.
really done anything to kind of lead us in that direction, should I say? So
Yeah.
I know that the tweener thing is a thing, but they haven't even really done that with them. He just like it's just weird conversations, weird reactions to matches. Like I said, we didn't even understand why he beat up the commentators. That didn't even make any sense. We thought he was going to disappear off of TV for a while. I mean, usually if you do something like that, usually a wrestler disappears for a while. She's suspended for and you're gone for like 2-3 months, and they don't come back until some pay per view or something like that. I think the Gunther thing's kind of getting. I think they're kind of ruining it right now. I mean, ever since he signed this contract, now it's kind of interesting that they're just kind of like, okay, he's here now. We don't have to really do anything major with him right now. He's signed contract. He's got his tour bus.
Yeah.
Hello. I just don't get what's going on right now. I don't. The Gunther and then Jey Uso. I mean, why are we even having that match again? Because it's not
Yeah.
even believable for them to wrestle again and Jey Uso to beat him.
Yeah, that's why I think some bullshit's gonna happen, right?
Yeah.
Like, I mean, hopefully he'll, we've said before, like every single new champion kind of just gets a match with Logan Paul, right? Like,
Mm-hmm.
Cody got one, Roman Reigns got one. Everybody just kind of gets a match with Logan Paul, so they're probably just doing this as like a filler thing.
Mm-hmm.
But I really don't think Jay's long for this title, like at all. Like I really think that this title's gonna be on Seth with SummerSlam at the latest.
I mean, I could agree. I mean, but with the pop your boy Jay's getting right now, I just don't
No.
know, man. I mean, WWE's been doing some wild stuff lately, some stuff that doesn't make any sense. This is one thing. I think he might ride it out past SummerSlam. I mean, he's too popular right now.
He is really popular.
I mean, he
I
might be the most popular right now outside of Roman Reigns and Cody Rhodes.
Yeah, I mean, I think those are the only two guys who get a bigger like entrance ovation than him. You know what I mean? I mean,
Yeah,
CM Punk gets a pretty big one, but like CM Punk doesn't have the pyro and like the pomp and circumstance like
no,
like Roman and Cody do. I mean, I've said this like 100 times. Roman and Cody are on a different level than everybody else,
yep,
but I think Jay is like right there.
yeah. I mean, the crowd asked him to play his music twice every time he comes out.
Yeah.
So I mean, he's I mean, as far as being a face, I mean, outside of Cody, he's the other top baby face right now.
Oh, absolutely.
There's
Absolutely.
nobody even sniffing there or even close to him right now. And I just don't see. I mean, what do you do with him after that if you take the belt off him already?
Yeah. I mean, You get him into that thing with Sammy and Punk and all those guys. Although I don't know, I kind of think that Punk is gonna go after John Cena, right? Like eventually, like we kind of have to. Like, don't we have to do that? Like, we have to have Punk and John Cena at some point. Like, it's
That's
gonna
why
kind
I'm
of like be a complete waste if we're not gonna do that.
Well, that's why I'm thinking like I don't know how long you can ride some of these storylines out. I mean the John Cena thing. I mean we can't keep having botches at the end of the matches or interference in matches for him to win every single time all the way up till the time he retires. Doesn't make any sense to me. That's bad business because you're going to have him beat all these named wrestlers over and over again. And I don't know if I brought the point up to you, or I might have told our other co-host Sean that if you notice the track that they're doing with Cena right now, he's just fighting people he's had storylines with in the past. That's all he's doing right now. So nothing. I mean, is that what we're going to do all the way down? Almost like thanks guys. This is my last match for this person, this person, this person. That's pretty much why they're presenting it. Because I mean, our truth is another major character of John Cena's.
Yeah, I
Now they're
mean,
making up a match for him. John Truth hasn't wrestled in about 100 years, and they about to put him in a match with John Cena.
well, and like, and that's exactly a great point that like I didn't even really consider. But like you're gonna have like all of these nonsense finishes, right? And you're basically gonna have him just go through the entire top of your roster, not counting R-Truth. I mean, I love R-Truth; he's a national treasure. But
Mm,
like you're gonna have him go through Cody, Randy Orton, CM Punk. I mean, Roman Reigns. I
yes.
mean, Drew McIntyre. I mean, you're gonna have him go through the entire top of your card, basically,
Mhm.
and just yeah, bullshit bury each and every one of them. I mean, I don't give a crap if they get a great match out of him or not. Like, great match aside, this is like a 47-year-old John Cena who can't wrestle anymore. Like what are we doing?
Mhm.
It's cool. Yeah, he can hit the AA. Great. He can't do anything else.
Nope. 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 He's been out of the ring. He's not wrestling enough to even keep his body in shape to do it. Physically, as far as lifting weights and stuff, he's in shape. But as far as wrestling shape, he's been out of the game too long. I mean, these every once in a while coming back, it's not going to keep your body ready to go. Your body's got to get used to the bumps and stuff. And I don't know, man. I don't know. And like I said, the Jey Uso thing, I mean, that's another question mark. We'll see what happens. But in my opinion, I wouldn't take the belt off him at SummerSlam at this point. As long as his popularity is up by that time, I wouldn't take the belt off him right now. I think he's way too popular and he's selling too much merch right now to even take the belt off of him.
Yeah, I would agree. So this obviously, Jay was backstage and there was a segment where where Seth kind of whispered something in Braun Breaker's ear, and we obviously, to your point earlier, had Braun Breaker attack Jay Uso backstage. So, kind of just continuing to heat up that feud. It did lead into a fantastic match between AJ Styles and Finn Balor. Like, oh
Mm,
my goodness, what a match this was. Just
yeah.
absolutely outstanding. I mean, these two guys are just, some of the best. Like they're just some of the best wrestlers out there. I mean, there were several "This is awesome" chants, just fantastic back and forth throughout the match. Obviously, we had the usual shenanigans with the Judgment Day coming out. Penta kind of came out to help as sort of the equalizer. AJ Styles did get the win after the phenomenal forearm, but I mean, top to bottom, this match was aces in my book.
Yeah, again, and you're seeing two guys who are familiar with each other too, and they're pretty much the same physique size.
Yep.
But both these guys can fly. AJ still has it. He's not as nimble as he used to be, doing a lot of high flying moves, but he's still a hell of a wrestler. It doesn't get any better than him. And Finn Balor does not get enough credit, in my opinion, as far as a wrestler. I still think he should be someone who should still be talking to title matches and stuff like that. I still think, I'm gonna be honest with you, I've always had a pet peeve with WWE with Finn Balor. I think, just in my opinion, excuse my French, I think they shitted on him because he was the first Universal champ, and they went ahead and he got injured, and they never did anything with him after that. They
Yep.
never even gave him a shot for it back again. They just kind of let him sit in the background. Then he put him back down to NXT for a while. Then he brought him back up. I love the Prince,
Oh my
character.
God, that was so good.
and they just kind of just threw it away once it got to the main roster. And I'm just like, dude, Finn Balor, man, this dude should be in title talks all the time for any belt, whether it's
Yeah.
tag team, whether it's intercontinental. I mean, he should be in the talks with any type of major storyline. And I just think that because I mean, honestly, I think Judge Jay's turned into the New Day. That's what I think they are. They're just comedy. They're levity
Yeah.
for the show, and that's what
It,
they're kind of what they're doing backstage with them.
it really is a comedy act. And I really think, like, to your point, the best thing that they could do, and I hope that this is the direction that they're going, is that Finn breaks away and Finn takes the IC title off Dom.
Well, I think that's what's going to happen, but I think
Yeah,
it's going to turn Dom into a babyface.
probably that whole group.
That whole group, more than likely. I mean, Liv
Yeah.
Morgan's a popular women's wrestler right now.
Well, the crowd wants to cheer them. The crowd wants to cheer all of them,
Yes, they
and
do.
like the WWE has a problem with that, where a lot of their heels are getting cheered more than the baby faces are.
Yep. Well, I mean, they're directing storylines to make you cheer for them. That's where
Yeah,
your problem is. They're switching their characters too quickly.
yeah,
I mean, look how fast they changed Io and Rhea. They were both heels, and then now they're both faces. It's like, okay, wait a
yeah,
minute. One of them can't. You got to pick or choose one of the two. They both can't be faces, and they're two of the top wrestlers. So who are you going to cheer for in a match?
yeah. Because that's obviously, and we'll get to that match in a minute because that was the main event. But yeah, exactly. What are we gonna do? You're gonna have your top women's title is gonna be between two faces, right?
Yep.
Yeah, we'll get into that main event in a second because I have some
Yeah.
thoughts on that. But
Yeah, I didn't want to jump off to a tangent there, but yeah, this
no,
was
no,
a
no,
great
you're good.
match. I give it an A.
Yeah, completely. I completely agree. Fantastic match. I'm so glad that we got something like this on TV. Just outstanding. Um, then we had a before the main event, we had a Becky Lynch promo, which was, I think the word I want to choose is a bit unhinged.
Yeah.
Like she was very just like, I won, you couldn't, I when after this match was over, you needed help to the back and you needed to go to a hospital and I just went and took a shower, blah 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 blah. And all these girls were like all happy that I was gone, and now everybody's like, mad that I'm back. And basically just kind of like, you all were saying that I was holding you all down. You don't even seen what it's like for me to hold anybody down. I'm just gonna be all of these nasty things that people said about me and stuff like that. And I was like, I mean, this is cool. Like, I think Becky's a great promo, and the women's division desperately needs people who can talk because there's only about three of them. But, like, I don't know where they're going with this, and I think we're probably just going to get into a rematch at some point between the two of them.
Oh, that's probably another. It's going to be more like either Money in the Bank or SummerSlam. It's going to be one of those two. I think I would say Money in the Bank because they're already hitting at it today.
Mhm.
So I would imagine they're going to cross paths. Rhea probably get the belt back. Um, I, I, the Becky Lynch things, I don't know what we're doing. I don't. Remember, I remember I told you I didn't understand why they even brought her back for that type of situation to put her in a tag team match with Lyra. And right now, like her being unhinged doesn't make any sense. It's almost like they're doing what they're doing with John Cena with her.
Yeah.
You're just making up stuff. So at what point did they lose their minds and just think everybody's out to get them now?
Yeah.
There was no build up to it. It's just, hey, I'm crazy today.
Yeah. They don't. And like Becky's character, like if you follow all of the extra stuff, like where Becky did that Raw recap with Sam Norton and I forget what the other girl's name is, the blonde girl,
Mm-hmm.
where she was like, they were saying like, oh, how do you respond to the comments that like people are calling you Becky Hogan and stuff like
Mm-hmm.
that? Like if the live show played into those things, the character motivations would make more sense. But
Mm-hmm.
like they don't show any of that stuff. So sometimes we're as an audience, we're just kind of left to be like, the hell is going on here?
Right. Right.
So I don't know. But I
Yeah.
mean,
So if
it's
you haven't
fine.
watched any of that stuff, I mean, I didn't even think about that. If you didn't watch any of that those off camera stuff, you would have no idea why she's unhinged.
Yeah,
Even
exactly.
even with her, even with seeing that stuff, it still doesn't make any sense. I'm just like, you just came back. I don't know where this animosity came from all of a sudden. I mean, I don't know. It doesn't make. I think she just got kind of crammed in this Intercontinental belt, and like you said before, I think on a previous podcast that you think they're just trying to bring some sort of credibility to that Intercontinental belt. But I don't like this route.
No. Well, and they rushed this. They should have waited a little while, right, to like turn Becky heel because right now the crowd wants to cheer her.
Mm-hmm.
So like it should have been a slow burn, have her and Lyra have those tag team belts for a minute, then have them lose. And then like have, Lyra continue to like screw Becky over a couple of times and then have Becky snap, but just to do it all within like a 2 week span, it's just what are we doing here? I don't know.
The cramped storyline. I mean, they're like I said, this is. I think a lot of this has to do with the fact that they got this draft coming up, and they're just trying to stay face right now until they can mix things up and get everybody into the brands that they want them to be in going forward. I don't know why we're waiting so long to do the draft. You should might as well just got it out of the way. This way you can
Yeah.
start these storylines. But
Yeah.
they're stuck now. You can't even do the draft now because you got these other storylines going around. And it very well could happen all the way up to SummerSlam. Did we even get a date announced for this draft this year?
Yeah.
I mean, are they even going to do one?
They should. I mean,
I
they
mean, the
might.
rumors are Phoenix is supposed to go to Raw, and I don't but they haven't any mention of any drafts happening. So I don't know, man. Becky Lynch, I didn't really care for her whole rant. It didn't make any sense to me.
Yeah.
If you're gonna ask me, that whole speech and acting all crazy and stuff, it's a C.
Yeah. We did have another backstage promo from Rusev. The same kind of stuff he said before. He just wants to like take things out on everybody and promises to hurt everybody in his path. Nothing really new here. So the main event then between Rhea Ripley and Io Sky versus Roxanne Perez and Julia. And this match was awesome.
Yeah.
Like, it really made Roxanne and Julia look great. I
Mm-hmm.
kind of wish they would have played off of the Rhea and Io like not being able to coexist a little bit because I think that Roxanne and Julia should have gotten the win. I think it would have helped them a lot more. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I get it. It's very hard, right? Because like you don't ever want to pin your champion. Like, I get that. But and again, Rhea is the biggest star in the women's division, so pinning her is tough too. But Rhea could have eaten a pin here. Like you know, I really think it's really hard on Roxanne and Julia to have one of them. I think it was Julia that ate the pin, but it's just like why are we doing that? You just called them up and like you're just gonna kind of feed them to your two top wrestlers. I mean, they did get an awesome match. It was like 20 minutes and it was absolutely fantastic. Julia looks like $1,000,000. I mean, she's one of my favorites. I haven't I've said a million good things about her. And I think Roxanne is great too. And I'm finally glad that, they're presenting both of them and, with the women at the top of the card, because I kind of think that's where the two of them belong. Like
Mm-hmm.
Roxanne and Julia belong at the top of the card.
Oh,
So
absolutely. I mean, there was two bright spots of the show this week. It was this match and the Finn Balor and AJ Styles match, and that was it. This match was awful. I mean, it was so entertaining. I mean, it felt like a premium show watching them in the ring for this one. You're right about. I would prefer to see Perez and Julia win that over top of them, but I get it too. I mean, you just don't want to pin those two. Maybe you could add another outside interference or some sort of DQ just to end the match. I mean, they've been doing it the entire time they've been there, and that's. But also, this the only negative I can push back is we still don't know the motivation of these two. They still haven't
yeah,
given us real, true motivation as to why they're attacking these women. Is it just because they're the next up and coming and they're almost like a nexus type thing? Just them two. They're just trying to take it to all the women. I don't get it, but the match alone, though, the match was great. I mean, Julia looked like $1,000,000, like you said. I mean, all four women. I mean, I can't even say one was better than the other. Everyone had their spots. Everyone put on the show. There was really no botches. They did. I mean, they did flirt a little bit on them not being on the same page. Kind of when Io was trying to high five Rhea, and
mhm,
Rhea's kind of looking at her like, really? And she eventually gave her a high five. So it does show a little distinction between the two.
mhm.
But I think this is just lining up for a possible match between Rhea Ripley and EO. And that's probably what they're lining up for SummerSlam.
Yeah, no, I think you're absolutely right. And I mean, Io is so great. Like she's such a good wrestler, and like this thing that she does is like absolutely adorable. And I love how like the crowd is like so into it. It's kind of like her new shtick. But yeah, absolutely fantastic. So yeah, that was Raw. So overall, what's your rating?
I mean, if outside of those two matches, I mean, this was probably a C for the entire show. Because I mean, there was only two bright spots. Everything else didn't make any sense. None of it. Raw to me is in disarray. I don't know. I have no. I don't think they have any idea what they're doing right now with Raw. We're all confused. I mean, it's fine to be a fan and cheer. If I was there, I'd cheer and everything. But if you're looking at it holistically, I don't know what's going on with Raw right now. I don't think they know what they're doing with Raw right now. And until they can announce when this draft's going to be, I just don't know if it's going to change. I mean, you got to do something before SummerSlam, I would imagine, right?
Yeah. I mean, I think so. I think your women's champions are probably equal across
Mm-hmm.
both divisions. Io's a better wrestler than Tiffany. And I think you have probably a better feud, like with Rhea and her, obviously. So your women's main event scene is probably better on Raw, but your main title is on SmackDown. Like
Mm-hmm.
Jay's title is the B title, period.
Mm-hmm.
And to what we said about the Intercontinental Championship, it's on a comedy character right
Right.
now, Dom, and the US title is on a amazing killer character in Jacob Fatu, who is about to be in a crazy story with Jeff Cobb.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's going to be awesome, so, and all of your big heavy hitters are on SmackDown. Cena, Cody, Roman
Mm-hmm.
Reigns. I mean, I know Roman Reigns isn't there all the time. Randy Orton, like all of your big heavy hitters are on SmackDown. So to your
Mm-hmm.
point, I mean, a draft really seems like it needs to happen. So I agree with you. I think outside of the two really good matches towards the end of the show, let's see, because I'm just not. I like Seth Rollins like thing that he's doing right now, but I need to see more because like if this is going to be your quote unquote new bloodline thing, I'm not vested enough yet because I haven't seen Braun Breaker just like kill anybody for Seth Rollins yet, and I think I need to see more of that.
Yeah, but I also think they're kind of taming a little bit because they're gonna want to introduce the third person into the group. Um, in case you missed it, I have chosen Jake Paul to be the third person to my dislike. I really hope it's not him. I
So
really do.
gross. He's so gross.
But you know what else doesn't make it? I mean, before we even finish up here, the only thing I don't understand is they did the cross branding for WrestleMania
Yeah.
between Seth, CM Punk, and Roman Reigns, which was weird, right? Like, I mean, you just crossed two stories, and why are we not continuing that? If you ask me, quite frankly, if you ask me, I'd do away with the brand thing.
Yeah.
If it was up to me, I go back to just two shows, everyone's storyline, everything's connected between the two shows. You don't have to worry about this one being on this brand, this one being on that brand. I get it. I know a lot has to do with TV because each one wants their certain wrestlers on it. But I mean, Netflix apparently doesn't care who they have on Raw, just as long as they have WWE.
Yeah.
SmackDown sucking up all the top talent.
Yeah.
So if you ask me, I would like to see them just to go back with just two open shows and the storylines continue between the two open shows.
Yeah. No, I completely agree. I don't think that that's going to happen because they're so kind of like set in their ways and they need to sell the shows. But to your
Mm-hmm.
point, I mean, being able instead of like, you have to advertise certain people that are going to show up to certain cities, but like, at the same time, the idea of like your mid card, like being able to go across both shows, I think would be
Mm-hmm.
better. Like, you have a couple of guys at the top on both shows. Like, if Punk and Seth are going to be on one show and Cody and Roman are going to be on the other show, or Cody and Randy are going to be on the other show because they're full timers,
Mm-hmm.
that's okay. But like everybody else should be able to be on both shows.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
And I think it would help out your storylines because I think it was cool when they first started doing this, almost kind of treated like, some pro NFL or NBA league and they're drafting for their teams and stuff. But it was cool when it first came out. But I think you got so many wrestlers now that you're putting yourself in a corner. So now when you want to deviate the things or you want to try and build up the storylines, you really can't. And then when you do some offshoot stuff like they did for Mania with Reigns and Punk and Seth. So I don't know. In my opinion, I think they should just open up both shows. Just show everybody, man. You got that. That's a total what? Is that like 5 hours, 5.5 hours of
Yeah.
television that you tell me you can't cram in all these wrestlers over that time period with their storylines? I know. I think they're putting themselves in a corner. I think that's probably what's hurting them right now is these TV deals and these TV show channels demanding who they want on their show, especially what do you call it for SmackDown?
USA Network.
USA Network. I mean, they clearly said they want Roman Reigns. They clearly said they want, when Brock was there, we want Brock. They wanted everybody, and WWE, gave into it. They just put everybody on that one brand.
Yep.
So I don't know. We'll see what happens. I'm hoping we get something on Friday, maybe an announcement of the draft or something like that, something to get us excited. Because right now, I mean, there's nothing really outside the Seth Rollins
I mean,
storyline.
Cody's coming back,
Yeah, he's going to
so
be making an appearance next week, but I mean, but he's not even in the storyline yet right now either.
yeah,
So we don't know what
I
to
have
do.
I have a feeling that he's gonna get like attacked by somebody, or somebody's gonna come out and like talk shit with him, and I think that's gonna be his feud. That seems like a Drew McIntyre kind of thing, which would be
Mm.
I'd be
Yeah.
perfectly okay with. I mean, have them have a few matches. Cody will probably go over. I mean, Cody doesn't
Well,
lose
how do
very
you? I mean,
often,
but then what do you do with Drew now? Because I mean, he deserves to be in a title match. He deserves to be somewhere in some of these title conversations, and he hasn't been in. I mean, he's alluded to wanting to be in them, but they never involved him in any of them.
yeah, I mean, he could, Cody could come out and like say, I got screwed by John Cena, blah, 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 blah. And then Drew McIntyre could come out and, do his usual talking truth gimmick where he's like, no, you just lost because you suck, blah, blah, blah. And then like they could kind of go for like almost like a number one contenders kind of thing or something like that. Or a qualifying match for Money in the Bank. I don't know, like something like that to kind of kickstarting, or Cody be like, well, I'm going to enter Money in the Bank to try and get my title back or something like that. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I guess if you're gonna, in my opinion, I wouldn't do it with Drew because I mean, Drew is a major character in the brand, and I think he's gonna have a title run soon. I would imagine
Yeah.
within the next year or two, he'll be a champion and riding that belt for a while. But I mean, do you think you kind of squash him if he wrestles Cody and loses?
Well, maybe instead you hold that feud off until Cody's the champion again. Then
Hmm.
you have him go
Yeah.
against, and then I think it's okay if Drew loses at that
Hmm.
point, because I think the next person, like after we get the title back on Cody, the next person to hold that title needs to be Randy Orton because they need to pay off that Randy Orton Cody Rhodes story, or it
Hmm.
needs to be CM Punk. It needs to be one of those two guys as the next person to take that title off of Cody.
Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty sure CM Punk is it's probably in his contract somewhere. He's going to get a belt sooner or later.
Yeah, I think so
Um,
too. And it's got to be Cody's belt. Like
oh yeah,
it's not gonna be Jey Uso's belt.
absolutely, absolutely. So it'll probably be Cody's belt, which means that they're gonna have to change the rosters.
Yep. Yeah. I mean, that's a ways away. Like I'm thinking Cody versus CM Punk is like next year's WrestleMania. Like that's
Hmm.
if I had to fantasy book next year's WrestleMania right now, I would book Cody versus CM Punk
So what does that put in Roman Reigns?
versus Dwayne.
Oh no, I don't even want to see. I don't even see Dwayne even looking at a arena. I don't want him even
You
to
know,
look at one right
you
now.
know they're gonna do that at some point.
I'm
Like
sure because he's his ego will eat up enough where he's like right now he's the bad boy. He'll come his ego will eat him up again. He'll come back out and do something stupid probably over the summer or something like that.
yeah.
I just after I saw Rock at WrestleMania last year, I'm like, this dude doesn't have it no more. Why are we?
Oh,
Why?
I gave my feelings on that man. I can't stand him. He's a piece of shit now. But
Yeah, I mean, I'm just tired of the retreading of old wrestlers and trying to push them to the top just to give them their last hurrah. You don't have. You didn't do that for Ric Flair. You didn't do it for Ric Flair. You included him in a storyline, but you didn't. You didn't do that for Ric Flair. I mean, who else did retire? I mean, Undertaker. You didn't do any of this for any of those guys. Why are we doing it now? Why are we bringing these old guys back who can barely move around the ring? I mean, The Rock looked so stiff at Mania last year. I'm just like, oh no, keep him
Yeah.
outside the ring. Just let him come in and do a few stomps and then people's elbow and put him back outside the apron. I can't watch this anymore. And now John Cena's doing it for me this year. It's like, John, stop. There's no reason for this long title run. They could have did like a short stint for him. You know,
Yeah.
they could have did like a little 2-3 month thing and be done with it. But almost a year, we're going to be dealing with this.
It certainly seems like they are going to keep the title on him until like the end of the year,
I,
like the way that they're going with this, and I hate that because like I feel like you have to give his redemption angle some time, right? Like you have to give Cena's not going to retire a heel. He's going to retire a babyface. I think we can agree on that. And you have to give that some time. Like you can't just do that in December and have like one show and have it be over with, right? Like I think you need to like have him see the error of his ways or like something, and I think SummerSlam is where that needs to happen, right? Like if that's where you're going to do the Cody match, you've got a couple of pay-per-views, a couple of Saturday night's main events, you got Money in the Bank. I think you got the Paris show, like you do all of those things.
Night of Champions.
Yeah, Night of Champion, the Saudi show, right? Like you do all of those shows, have him be a heel, have him go through a few more people. Cody's got to beat him at SummerSlam. Then he goes away for a little bit and he comes back as like a baby face, for the last couple of months of the year. Because like kind of after SummerSlam, you got Survivor Series, and then I think the Australia show, and
Mm-hmm.
then like maybe the Paris show. And I think that's it for like the whole year. So like after August 2nd, when SummerSlam is, you've got like 3 pay-per-views for the rest of the year. But you've got like 9 between like now and then. Like you've got 2 Saturday night's main events. You've got the women's show. You've got Money in the Bank. You've got the Saudi show. There's literally a pay-per-view starting like after, we got one in 2 weeks of Saturday night's main event. And then
Mm-hmm.
like every 2 weeks there's a pay-per-view until
Mm-hmm.
SummerSlam.
Well, here, let me throw one at you. Tell me how you feel about this. I mean, quite frankly, me, I just don't know how you're going to do this, but Night of Champions, it would have to be Cena versus Jey Uso.
Ugh.
June
Ugh.
28th.
Blech.
Which means you
Blech.
got to pull the belt off of Jey Uso if you don't want him in that match, like at Saturday Night Main Event, which I don't think is happening. So
So it's
more
gonna
than
be
likely, you're going to see Cena versus Jey Uso,
or Cena versus Seth.
possibly.
Or oh God. Or
But Cena
that's
can't lose to Seth.
no no no. That's how you get your Cena Gunther match. Gunther's gonna beat him.
Beat who?
Jay,
Think he takes the belt back and fights Cena?
if that's what you're gonna do for Night of Champions. Because they've been wanting to do a match between Cena and Gunther. That's been a thing.
But what about the Goldberg stuff that's coming out though?
That's SummerSlam.
Yeah, but you're gonna have your champion fight Goldberg?
Why not? Roman Reigns did.
But it's a
Bobby
retirement match.
Bobby Lashley did.
But you can't. It's a retirement match. Nobody retires on a win.
That's okay. Goldberg loses. So what?
Right?
Goldberg lost to Roman Reigns. He lost to Bobby Lashley when they were champion.
Yeah, but it's an obvious loss. So I mean, you're wasting a spot there. I don't want to see Goldberg involved.
I don't want to see Goldberg either, but I'm just saying, like, it's
But
gonna
it would happen to
happen.
be a title match, and you just know. I mean, there's not one person in the world is going to say Goldberg is going to win this match. I mean, it's the consensus that he's not going to win this match. No one's going to believe it. You can even bet on it that he's going to win this match. They wouldn't put it up in Vegas. There's no way in hell he has a chance of taking the belt off of Cena. So why would you even waste it?
You're next.
Yeah. Oh, great. Hello.
Your last, Bill. Your last, Bill.
Dude, like I said, there's so much stuff that's happening right now that I think WWE has put themselves in a corner right now, and I don't think they know what to do. I think they're just going to try to keep riding it out with all this mediocrity right now until something pops.
Yeah. Well, I think I agree with you. We definitely need that draft to happen. So
Well, we need AEW to step up their fucking, excuse my French.
beep.
We need WWE. We need AEW to step up their game to push WWE again because I think they're getting complacent.
Yeah, because AEW has been terrible lately.
Right, and the WWE's getting a pass because of that.
Yeah.
If AEW can get their act together, WWE have no choice but to actually make some sense now. They can't just ride these little waves and putting belts on people who don't even need to hold the belts. I need AEW to step up their game.
Yeah. No, I agree
And
with you.
you can't really bring out Ring of Honor because they're connected to AEW. TNA is connected to WWE. So I mean, you can't really expect them to push it.
Oh,
It's got to be
and
AEW.
yeah, and American audiences don't really care about the rest of them. So yeah. So anyway, we kind of went off on a tangent there, but that's our Raw recap, guys. Thank you so much for joining us for that. We're going to have a bunch of content for you guys this week. The NFL schedule comes out tomorrow. So we're going to break it down for you guys on Thursday, and we're going to start our series of videos where we look at every single one of the teams. We're going to start with the AFC East, break down the schedule for each one of those teams. We'll obviously start with our Bills and, kind of predict the wins, predict the losses, talk about the games. We're going to have a lot of fun guests. We'll have our main man, Paulie B, joining us for some of those episodes as well. So, look forward to that content. But as always, guys, thank you so much. We appreciate it. And have a great evening and
Hey,
take
don't
care.
forget, like, comment, and subscribe.
Yes, sir. Thanks, guys. Have a great evening.